not going live.
5, 4, 3,
No,
2.
we're actually live right now. We've been live. Can you imagine? We've been live this entire time.
Ah,
Oh dear.
damn, every time.
Our plans are foiled.
Yeah.
To truth be told, I don't like banana and pizza after all. Well, there's a plot twist. Happy episode 40, everyone. That's mad.
Yeah.
Episode 40 of Me Time. We've been doing this for 40 episodes.
Put the work in.
Technically more if you count the specials. So if you think about it, you got the epilogue and special 2, 3, and 4. So this is technically, we're going Doctor Who. Numbers don't matter. But, you know what I mean? It's episode 40. So we've done 44 episodes. But that's crazy to think that we've come this far, and we're out of the 30s and we're into the 40s.
Well, we're still building.
Yeah, we're still building. Sorry about last week, everyone. Obviously, we wanted to get an episode out to you. We wanted episode 40 to be out then, but I was a bit tired, and I needed to give myself some me time. As did Elliott too. Me more than Elliott. But Elliott was very grateful for the rest too.
Yeah.
But we're back at it this month with the final theme before we have our mid-series break.
Yeah.
We're very happy about the reception that Me Time has had this half of the year. We're so grateful, as always. And the reactions and views and love of community spirit has been heartwarming too.
Yes. That's been going really well.
Yeah, it's been lovely. We've been very, very grateful to be joined by John and Ethan, and even the view count on the live stream too. That was a very important one to me. They're all important to me, but we've really enjoyed getting out this brand new, revamped Me Time to You, and that will only continue going into the second half. There will be a few more changes in the second half, not by much. But there will be there's more fun adventures to come.
Yeah.
Community spirit is still going strong.
Yeah.
We've got more people on the horizon, which is really, really cool.
We've got some really interesting guests coming along soon, but we can't say anything yet.
We're really, really excited about that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my dog. Trying to edit a podcast, do a podcast here, Tetley, you know? That's another Tetley blooper. Tetley is a prominent figure in Me Time now. It's great. But he's not going to be coming back anytime soon to fart on my face and defile a pillow.
Yeah.
That was certainly funny. But yes, okay. Enough of the formalities. Episode 40 is the beginning of the next theme, which I announced on MJ Media last week as the age of anime. So anime has been a very strong topic of conversation in phase 1 of Me Time. So it stands to reason why we are not returning to form. We're returning to talk about anime explicitly again.
Bring it back from nostalgia.
Yes. But more importantly, we're not talking about select anime. We're not, because we spoke a lot. Well, that being said, I want to talk a lot about My Hero Academia because we did say last year that we wanted to give our opinions on the finale. But more importantly, we both wanted to talk about how much anime has changed over the years, because it has gone through what me and Elliott.
I'd probably say it's more. I'd probably say more its image, because I think you look back at anime generally and it's quite consistent, but I think the image of it has changed compared to what it was. I think that's probably better.
Yeah, that's a good way of framing that. I think more importantly, it's how it's shifted to a mainstream sort of audience. Anime, I remember when I was a wee lad, it was known. It was more, I'd say, more niche. It wasn't like this really not known thing that when you hear about it, you're like, "Ooh, let me give that a watch." It was just like, it wasn't really part of mainstream culture that much. You wouldn't see it on TV. You wouldn't really see trailers for it in the cinema or posters around it in the cinema. I wouldn't see many DVDs about it too. There were video games about it, granted, but there were more hyped up video games like first person shooters and open
Mm.
world games and sci-fi and Telltale was pretty big and hot on the scene at the time too.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, Tekken would
yeah,
probably be another
fighting
one.
games too.
Yeah, yeah. Tekken, Mortal Kombat probably was sort of there originally, and then sort of become more like a 3D game now. But yeah.
Hmm. So, I mean, anime as a whole has had some transformations in culture, and I have noticed that purely because, shock horror, I never used to be a fan of anime. There was a time in my life where I looked at anime and I was kind of like, no,
Yeah.
no, couldn't be me, not a chance. And that was when I was in junior school, and I was a lot of people were talking about this kind of tiny little really tiny known series. You might have heard of it, Pokemon.
Yeah.
People were talking about that, and I was kind of like, "What's that?"
It's
or
funny. It's funny. The games are doing really, really well in that time, but the series itself, from our point of view, was sort of very sort of bizarre.
well, yeah, I remember people tried to get me into both. They were like, "Oh, so there's this fella called Ash, and he's got this yellow electric rat called Pikachu, and they go on adventures together and catch loads of monsters and battle other monsters." And I'm like, I didn't say that. I
Yeah.
was, when kids are like, I did that. No, I was like, I don't know because I was into my cartoons at the
Mm.
time, granted, but I was very more focused on the mechanical. I was focused on my Transformers and my big explosions and blockbusters and superheroes.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really want to follow this sort of thing. Because then I took one look, they just showed me the video game too, and I was just like, oh, so it's like I didn't know what it was called at the time. I was
Mm.
like, it's that like cartoon that's not really a cartoon. It's drawn differently and the frames a second are like I never call them the frames a second. I call them oh, it's more choppy
Yeah.
and that I mean they they sound really high pitched.
Mm.
And it's I don't know. It was I didn't like the look of it
No.
at first. And the whole repetitive dialogue because you'll find it a lot with anime is that I don't know, it's like you got the camera, it just goes cuts across. Slowly their faces like go. I don't know, I'm not describing that well. It's like a frame, they're moving across a frame, they're moving across the face, the camera just moves up like that. I don't know. I probably won't put an example in this. And you either get it or you don't, guys.
I mean,
uh,
I'll probably say, I mean, Pokemon was sort of aimed towards kids.
mm,
I think the anime now, is more aimed towards sort of our generation and older. I'd say the writing's a lot more mature compared to.
well, yeah, that's funny that you should say that. Like, after a lot of time trying to get into Pokemon. I did watch a little bit as a kid, but I never really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the games more. It didn't take too long for me to start like testing the waters of other anime when I stumbled across a video game of Dragon Ball Z in games. It was Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
Yeah.
And I had a blast.
Mhm.
I had a blast playing it. Um it was there were characters looked really different to what I was used to.
Mhm.
They were like they were very the muscle proportions were ridiculous, and they were shouting and screaming a lot. And I thought this is so weird. I don't
Mm.
I'd like this is, but I enjoyed the fighting.
Mm.
I enjoyed the blast, and it reminded me all of the explosions. reminded me a lot of my love of Transformers at the time. So I
Yeah.
gave it a go and I started looking into Dragon Ball Z and I learned about the transformations and I thought that's actually really cool.
Mm.
They have to unlock sort of transformations and when they unlock these transformations they get more powerful. But to get to these transformations they have to go through a lot of training.
Gotta put the
They
work
have
in.
yeah, they have to earn it and they have to go through character development to get to it where
Mm.
superheroes are just given the powers, you know?
Yeah, I kind of find that more interesting. I think that's kind of a running theme for a lot of anime. Um, kind of well, as of more recently, I'd probably say like you've kind of like my Hero Academia being a good example where yeah, Deku's given the power, um, but he isn't just given it. He's got to train his body to accept it, and he's got to train himself to be able to use it properly. It isn't just a here's a power, enjoy. It's like here's a power. Now you got to earn. Now you got to earn it. It's like you got to earn. You got to earn the right to use it now.
Mm. And to go off of that, it's a weird thing because you know how good the story is only when you're in it, watching the show. Um, I didn't hear about I've spoken about this on the podcast before. I've spoken before about My Hero Academia. I got into the show not because of hearing about how the story was. I got into the show hearing how good the soundtrack was because the composers for anime are seriously fantastic.
Mm,
They put a lot of artistic vision into it, and Yuki Hayashi, he is my favorite composer of all time.
mm.
He is. No one, no. It's weird to say no one comes close. I know Hiroyuki Savano is very close with his work for Attack on Titan, but Yuki Hayashi will take the trophy for me, unfortunately. Sorry, I'm gonna annoy a lot of people with that. um, but you look at anime and think, I'm not going to get this serious story
Yes.
because of the style. When I look at Dragon Ball, when I looked at Dragon Ball Z, I didn't really expect to get what I watched.
Well, I think it's kind of weird. Like the color palette for Dragon Ball is it sounds a really weird comparison, but it's almost like bluey in regards like it's like really bright. It's really bright, and you for something more serious, you'd expect something to be a lot darker in tone.
Yeah, of course.
Um, but yeah, Dragon Ball being like bright orange and sort of bright greens and all that sort of stuff, they go, nah, this can't be anything serious, and yet it does hit some sort of quite not deep themes, I guess, but quite sort of interesting themes. Maybe is the right.
It's because of how the characters were designed, and it was very. I love the character designs in Dragon Ball Z, but it's it's so hard to explain that you don't think they would be serious. I was expecting it to all be comical, fighting and loads of screaming and powering up and blasts.
Yeah.
No, it's a martial arts anime.
Mm,
There's a heavy focus on of self-discipline, protecting family,
mm.
and honor,
Yeah.
pride.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of pride in that show.
Eh,
And even the villains in the show, they don't. They obviously they're like a lot of them are anti-pride, but they have a lot of fighting moves. They
mm,
don't. It's not like I'm not going to fight because that's not who I am. It's just how they're going to win the battle.
mm.
It's who is the new apex, who is on top. But Dragon Ball, I'm not saying Dragon Ball Z is a perfect story. There was many twists and turns in the show that I think are like, mm, but the arc that you're watching at the moment, finally, is my
Mm,
favorite arc of all time in
yeah.
Dragon Ball Z. It's brilliant. No spoilers, please. You spoil it for him. I'm coming for you.
Mm,
Um, uh, but then going back to My Hero Academia, that's something that we've both fully
mm,
seen. Um, I've recommended that show to so many people, and a lot of them say no because it's when I say the premise of it, it's a guy, it's a boy going to school to learn how to use his superpowers, and they think, oh, I'm in for some like really high pitched Harry Potter. comical, just like, "Oh, no, I've dropped my book. I'm late for
Yeah.
class. Oh, no,
I
the
mean
the fire guy has caused the fire alarm to go off, and I've got a water quirk, so I've gotta be the sprinkler." Something like that, you know?
I can't deny the first series little bit guilty of it, especially the first episode where Deku's going to like OHA and it's like, "Oh boy, I just fall over," and then Ochaku sort of picks him up.
Oh,
That sort
that's
of
in the
first was
first series, yeah.
a little bit high pitchy, but I think you get past that bit and it starts kind of like knuckling down, and you get the stronger stories after that.
I was hooked. I've said this before. I was hooked from the moment that he asked All Might, "Can I be a hero too?"
Yeah, I think that's episode 2, wasn't it?
No, episode 1.
Was it episode 1?
Episode 1, at the end of episode 1, he meets All Might,
Oh, he answers it episode 2,
and
doesn't
because he's powerless, and he's like, "I still wanna be a superhero after the doctor told
he?
me I genuinely can't
Yeah.
ever have a power at all." And he says to his idol, his all-time, like, his beacon and pillar of hope, "Could I become a superhero even though I don't have a power? Could I be a
Mm.
hero too?" Episode ends. And for me, that cut through the tone really quick. I'm just like, okay, we're not going to get a comical show.
Mm.
We're going to get the story about a boy who is going to fight for his dream no matter what. And the reason why I was so compelled was because the episode started with Deku, the main character, narrating, "This is the story of how I became the greatest hero in the world."
Mm.
And I'm like,
You joking, right?
so you're talking in past tense.
Mm.
You became the greatest hero. So what I just witnessed at the end of the episode was your origin. You're going to be fantastic.
Mm.
I'm going to watch you evolve like crazy. This is going to be mental. How are they going to
Mm.
do that? A super obviously he gets powers,
Yeah.
but it's different. The way that his powers become very mysterious and too much for him to control at first,
Mm.
and when he finally begins to control them, then even the main cast don't know how to use them. You're kinda like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah, I think that's kind of what makes it more interesting because a lot of like our Western media right now is sort of like you have your power, and then there's almost a lot of plot holes to a degree. So like, no,
Yeah.
the challenges are sort of easy. What you find in the anime sphere is that the challenges aren't easy. Like you can tell the characters are going through stuff, but it's not hidden. It's very much out in the open. So you're experiencing it with the character, and you can kind of sit in their shoes to a degree. Compared to sort of the more Western side of things, where like they are going through a challenge, but the stakes feel less high because they you kind of know they're gonna win. But I think with anime, there's because they get injured. Again, it kind of comes back to John Wick a little bit. You kind of feel that there's more stakes involved when they're just sort of in fights or like in like a mental game as well. Sometimes like the stakes feel a lot higher because they're more vulnerable. I think is what I'm after.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I'd say you'll find in most anime, the characters are more it's not fair of me to say that they're more invested in the show in the story, because you do have Western media where a lot of the main cast and a lot of the side characters do jump into the story. It's
Mm,
rare. It happens. I won't say that it's like uncommon, but they're more emotionally invested in the narrative in anime, I'd
mm,
say. You see, and I don't think it's purely because there's a story that they're telling for everyone
mm,
in anime. They're not afraid to touch nerves. They're not afraid to go large scale. And I think that is purely because they can animate it. They can animate things seamlessly into the story, where in live action, it would be quite difficult to film like large scale things. Take the CW, for example.
yeah,
You have this down to earth show about a vigilante called Arrow, who is just an archer who takes to the streets to defeat the bad guys. It's like
Mm.
a street level fighting thing. Flash forward like six or seven series. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Heresy!
um, and they're fighting to save the multiverse. Like this is that it's really cool to grow to that heights, but because it's a TV show and it's live action, the CGI looked really weird.
It was so
And
it's hilarious. I recently rewatched it, and it's hilarious over picking up on it. I think, and I can kind of tie it in where I think what makes series 1 and series 2 so strong is like, yeah, Oliver's a legit fighter in the modern day, but I think his flashbacks are more interesting to a degree because he's not that yet. So you can kind of sit in his shoes in the flashbacks, but then you can also you can kind of invest in him in the modern day because of those flashbacks. You kind of see his vulnerabilities, um, kind of early on, I guess, but then you can kind of transpose those into when you're viewing him in modern day, sort of being vigilante sort of thing.
mm, and that's just it. They didn't. It's really hard to compare anime to Western media in a way because they're two very different
Mm,
things. But what the whole point of this was is to say that anime isn't the preferred of the two. It's just that it's grown so big now. It's you do hear anime is genuinely part of mainstream culture. It is if you go onto a website, like if you're typing in like what my interests are, anime never would have been part of that list. It is
mm,
now. The Comic Con is massive. It used to be quite big. I used to hear about it, but now it's big. You're getting like A-list celebrities
mm,
going to Comic Con, whereas before, I'm not trying to put voice actors down, but it's really cool seeing voice actors there, and I absolutely adore it. Um, but like last year, you had David Tennant
mm,
at Comic Con, and like that's amazing. You've
mm,
got these people that are in Western media and like British broadcast, like big movies and stage productions, and they are going to like nerdy Comic Con anime themed places. Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode of Me Time. If you haven't already, subscribing would really help out get more Me Time to you. Anyway, back to the episode.
I think for probably like a good direction is probably Michael B. Jordan. I know he's expressed interest in regards to anime.
Yeah. Do you know who one of his favorite characters is in anime?
I can't remember. I know he did mention it on interview, but can't remember off the top of my head.
It's because it's one of my favorite anime characters as well. Michael B. Jordan and me. Hey, Michael B. Jordan, we're gonna get along just fine. It's Vegeta.
Oh, it is. Yes, yeah, I do remember
Killmonger's
that.
armor
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
inspired
yeah.
by Vegeta.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Well,
Now you
not the
say,
Black Panther. His original fit.
yeah,
Go back and look at it and imagine Vegeta wearing his Frieza
yeah.
Frieza Saga armor.
Oh, I'm gonna
You
go.
will look at it
Oh,
and you'll
okay.
just be like, "Oh my god, that's uncanny."
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
it, it is. Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
I'm gonna go look at that now. I'm
Mm.
intrigued now.
Why do you
um.
think Killmonger's so prideful?
Ah, nice.
Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan's inspiration was Vegeta. It was. But literally, the Saiyan race is the Wakandans. That was his.
Nice.
Michael B. Jordan's perception is not what Marvel and the MCU and Kevin Feige intended. But that was Michael B. Jordan's inspiration, I should
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
His sort of creative view of the characters, probably. Yeah, yeah.
The thing I also wanted to pick up on is I'm going back to My Hero, and it's actually good that we get to talk about the finale
Mm,
simultaneously here because My Hero started with a bang. It was quite hot on the scene, and a lot of people were talking about it.
Mm.
and I was getting into it at the time. And then it got to a point when My Hero movie started coming out, and it got halfway through the series, and then the hype began to die
Mm.
a bit. It got towards the finale, and the finale, in my opinion, was beautiful.
Was
It
this Two
was,
Heroes?
uh, what, the movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, the two here. Yeah, you got Two Heroes movies.
Yeah,
Two
yeah, yeah.
Heroes movie was one of my favorites.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm talking about series 8, the finale, not
I'm
the
trying to
movie,
think.
the actual finale.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what is season 8? I forgot.
What is series 8? The
Yeah, yeah.
ending.
Okay.
Spoiler warnings for My Hero series 8. We're going to talk about that now.
Okay.
Um,
No, seriously, trying to put my head in
yeah,
the right place.
I thought it was well done. The budget was really high, but in the final fight scenes, you can see it's really tying everything together. It's
Mm.
just a shame that not many people really viewed it as like the ultimate ending, because everyone sort of like it lost a lot of its steam.
I think I think I think this I don't think it's just a My Hero Academia ending. I think it's a lot of series when they try and end something. Um, like when Arrow officially ended, or when Gotham officially ended. Just as a premises I can sort of easily sort of call from. Everyone's got an ending in their head that they think is going to happen, and then the writer finishes it off for them, and it doesn't relate to what people think in their head, and then that in turn kind of puts a downer on the audience. I think the thing with endings is I think putting an ending on anything for a series or a movie is brave at the minute, because at the minute we're getting series and movies that are just next movie, next movie, next movie, next movie, and the story's dying out every movie sort of thing.
And this,
Um,
yeah, that is what I wanted to talk about, is that when a series becomes successful with anime, in anime, the character development is getting pretty nitty gritty. The
mm,
animation is getting really impressive. They're setting up relationships. They're setting up the dynamic villains. There's
mm,
so much going on, and that's why, for me per se, is why it gets so interesting. There's
mm,
so much to unpack and to explore, and you can't wait to see where it's going to go next and who's going to be introduced. It's constant flow, 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 flow. Anything could happen.
mm,
And then they release movies. And for My Hero, they were you could decide whether they were part of the story or not.
yeah,
But a lot of the budget went into that. And the budget for a finite story that technically didn't matter, you think it's really cool seeing this on the big screen. Don't get me wrong. I really hope that this isn't going to affect the state of the series. It did.
yeah. What I think it was that series 5, did it?
Oh yeah, series 5 is what I really don't like. I don't like saying this, but series 5 is my least favorite series of My Hero,
Mm,
purely because you can tell all the effort went into World Heroes mission. They moved too much of the narrative around for the story to have any form of logical linear progression,
mm,
and the pacing was atrocious.
mm,
The constant filler at the start of each episodes and the flashbacks to things we already knew.
mm,
Um, I didn't enjoy it, and it was because they were trying to hype up the movie release too much. And don't get me wrong, World Heroes Mission was a really good movie,
mm,
but then take World Heroes Mission's marketing.
mm.
The brand new outfits.
Yeah.
Um, Deku is a wanted man.
Mm,
Um, what did he do to make himself wanted? You watch the movie, you barely get any of the costume, and you barely get any time of Deku really being wanted. He's just
mm,
like, Deku's wanted, but I mean, you know, we know he didn't do anything good, so just forget about it, really.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so but that was literally done for Deku to sort of just be like, on the run
Yeah.
for most of the movie, but he wasn't really on the run from anyone at all.
Yeah, yeah.
He fights like one bounty hunter and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this the whole movie doesn't feel like you've hyped this up for so long. It feels mid.
Mm.
And for what purpose? Money.
Yeah.
That's the danger of anime now getting hyped up like crazy,
Yeah.
which is good. Again, I'm saying don't get me wrong a
Yeah.
lot, so I'm going to stop myself from saying that now. Like it's cool to see anime grow, therefore more attention, more budgets, more shows,
Mm.
more beautiful anime. Um, Drawn really, really well, more characters to get involved with, different ways of seeing the world, different ways of writing stories. Um, but it is suffering the same curse of Western media.
Yeah, like, I think you've kind of aimed towards demons there. I think it's that, yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think that's where you're going.
Sorry guys, I'm about to rip Demon Slayer a new one. Um, I don't know if you wanted to get in on that first.
Yeah, I can do. I mean, so I think Demon Slayer, I think for all the series was strong. Um, did it have a movie before?
It didn't know oh, actually, no, I take it no, they had
Oh,
the Infinity Train movie,
Mugen's Train.
but unfortunately, that sort of came around COVID time, I
Yeah,
think. Yes. Yeah.
but it almost felt like a really long episode rather than sort of a
Yeah.
movie. I mean, the animation was good.
Mm.
I can't deny that. But again, the writing didn't hold up to standard for like a proper sort of cinematic experience, I guess is what I'm after. Um, and then they carried on with another series, which was the blacksmith arc. Um, again, I didn't the blacksmith arc. The blacksmith arc. I really wanted to enjoy, but I found it was quite slow to get to the point.
It was boring.
Yeah, yeah.
I found the blacksmith arc boring.
It's like I was like, so we're gonna get this awesome sword. Okay, cool. You kind of thought you kind of get a proper run through as to like a blacksmith's like training or how they build their swords or all this other stuff. You didn't really get a lot of that really. It was just like there's something going on in the village.
Here's more Hashira.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Here's more Hashira, and here's more Nezuko being
Let's go.
cute. Nezuko being cute in the corner. Here's Tanjiro being the lovable, "Oh, look, I'm so nice."
Yeah,
And then just throw in two powerful villains that they can't defeat, but but don't worry, they will defeat them
yeah,
because Tanjiro's got so much plot armor, it's unreal. So what's the big deal
yeah.
at the end of the day?
But the thing is, we don't even know anything about Tanjiro. We don't even fully understand his plot armor. It just sort of seems to work when it's needed. There's no real
So
rule set.
here's the thing. The first series of Demon Slayer was
Yeah,
fantastic.
undeniable.
I think if you just watch that, you get a good story.
Mm,
You obviously want to see what comes next. You want to see Tanjiro fight Muzan and get his revenge for the death of his family, and find a way to make Nezuko human again. So, of course, I was excited for the Mugen Train movie. And the only bit in that movie that I kind of found entertaining was the bit that didn't involve Tanjiro. You know, the whole dream sequence stuff, it just felt so prolonged that you were like,
mm,
this would benefit from being episodic, not a
yeah.
movie. I'm just like, kind of like, Can
We
we
done
get
yet?
there? Um, you know,
Mm.
and the pacing wasn't great. The animation, okay, I won't fault the animation.
Animation's good.
The animation in Demon Slayer is always
Mm.
gorgeous. I will never fault that. Um, then you got to the final fight with Rengoku and Akaza,
Mm.
and that's ridiculously cool. I'm just like, we waited like an hour and 15 minutes to get to this.
Mm.
We could have had this at the start. Um, that fight scene was really well done. And then Tanjiro snapping and calling Akaza out and just being like, "Yo, you suck. You're a coward."
Mhm.
Akaza turning around and going like, "How dare you? Next time I see you, mate,
Mm.
I'm gonna get you." So I'm like, "Okay, this is really cool." Then you get the Entertainment District arc, which was episodic, and that was
That was legit,
That
yeah.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was the best Demon Slayer has ever been, in my
Mm.
opinion. Series 1 was great, but the Entertainment District arc was perfect.
Mm.
It was I gotta tell you, it was perfect,
Yeah.
right down to the most minute detail.
Yeah, yeah.
It really was. Like, the introduction of the powerful demons, the upper six. So a real threat that everyone had to push themselves to their absolute limits to defeat.
Mm.
And in one final push and hurrah, they won. I'm like, they aren't even the strongest demons.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, we have so much growth to go. Take a look at my hero.
Yeah.
Deku could not be the hero that he is now if it wasn't for 8 series worth, long
Mm.
series of him learning and progressing. And I'm like, oh, look at the big horizon of story we got ahead of us.
Yeah.
So the next series, Tanjiro just defeats the next most powerful demon by himself without breaking well, he broke a sweat, but not really.
But I think the also funny thing is that Tanjiro hasn't even gone through training yet.
Yeah.
His training arc comes out really late in the series, which is kind of bizarre. So like he's got this power as such, which he's trained for a was it like a morning of the stone?
So in every series, there's an aspect that he learns.
Yeah,
So, of course, the first series, it's he learns the breathing techniques.
that's it.
And then in at the end of the first series, he starts to do the constant breathing.
That's it. Yeah,
Instead of
yeah.
focusing just on breathing, he's constant in a constant state of breathing. Then in series 2, is like focus your breathing on certain parts of your body so
Mm,
blood flows and you can stop the flow of blood. Logical progression.
yeah.
Series 3, oh, I've got the power of the sun.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, I conveniently remember that dance that my dad did. That's going to really help me here.
Yeah.
Series 4 comes along, the Hashira training arc. Oh,
Mm.
I'm just gonna champ all of this training without breaking a sweat.
I think
Which, by the way, there was not a single female demon slayer getting trained that entire arc, and I was pissed.
well, it's sort of
I
funny.
was pissed.
It's sort of funny. They kind of rip themselves into a corner where like they've got female Hashiras. So you've got to have female team.
like,
It's like you've kind
what's
of
her
put yourself
face?
into a corner.
Kanoi. She trained in series 1 to become the next butterfly Hashira.
Yeah,
Um,
is it the love Hashira as well?
yeah, you got,
The fact that they're there
yeah.
means they've got to have. It's like I don't know if if the animators just thought, oh, sorry, we'll just do
Oh, yeah, it's
males.
just like, it's just like, oh, you know what? Let's just make this quick and easy, and we'll just make a bunch of topless men that look the same. I'm like, what the hell?
I
What
think.
is, what is happening? I'm like, we're not focusing on the story anymore. We're
Mm,
not. We're just trying to get to the end. We're just speeding through, and we're just focusing on making it as pretty as possible.
mm,
Because Demon Slayer can do no wrong. Because look how good the first 2 series were.
mm.
I'm thinking, what is happening?
Yeah.
And then we get to the end of series 4, and we have the most intense sort of like reveal of Muzan. And then at the end, it goes cliffhanger, the final fight's about to happen. Everyone's uniting together in an infinity war, sort of like, let's go, let's fight the
Mm.
demons. I'm like, why are we ending the series? Why are we ending the story now?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Mm.
We can't. Look, I understand that the mangaka had to end the story early. Could we not try and extend it with other people that know how to write?
Yeah.
What are we doing? It doesn't make sense. And not only that, my point is only proven more when you view it in a very serious way. Okay, fine. I might not have a leg to stand on. I do when you realize the finale isn't going to be episodic series. They're going to be a series of 3 movies.
Yeah, that was annoying.
So we went to go and watch
Yeah.
we went to go watch the first Infinity Castle movie together.
Yeah.
And I'm always skeptical because I'm thinking, okay, I could be wrong. It could be really good.
Mm.
We're going to get the big final showdown against Muzan. This is part one. I've
Mm.
accepted I've got to wait for the other two.
Yeah.
Let's go into it. The movie starts and we're just like, oh cool, we're in the middle of fucking hell. We're in the middle of hell. This is
Yeah.
so this is cool. Let's just sit here and chill for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just walk over there and let's just navigate. It's not that bad that we're all split up. Let's have some
Yeah.
fun.
It is strange.
What's happening? The pace really went. It really it went like crazy from the end of series 2 to get to series 4, and they're like, "Oh, let's decrease it
Yeah.
so we can pace out the finale as much as possible and make as much money as possible."
Yeah.
Demon Slayer movie did make a lot of money. It did make a lot of money, but at the sacrifice of its narrative. Because Akaza in the movie, the big showdown that we had against Tanjiro, he'd magically discovered something called like the transparent world or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I completely
And I
forgot
was
about
like,
that one.
where the fuck did any of this come from?
Yeah.
None of this was explained. He's just like, oh, another technique that my dad taught me. I'm like, your dad didn't teach you fuck all,
Your
Tanjiro.
dad's dead.
Your dad's fucking dead. Yes, I know he makes Muzan shake in his boots. Still don't fucking know why that's happening.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've discovered why I can kill you even though you don't have a head. Akaza's backstory, good, is a good backstory. Could have been done in a fucking TV episode.
Yeah.
Because what happened when we finally got a good fight and the pace started to pick up and it looked like we were about to get good dynamics, then it then cut to like 20 minutes of just like, here's this slow
Oh,
backstory,
yeah.
quiet, slow backstory. I'm like, what
It
the?
is hilarious because at the end of that movie, it's hilarious. I mean, I don't fault any of the criticism of the movie. The character development on the flashbacks was there going, I can't deny I quite like him because it gave so much context to the character. But damn, they could have done it in so much better way. There was like they could have even done it in the series rather than the movie. But they just rushed the flashbacks into the middle of this fight. The fight could have been like really quick, like series 2, like properly dynamic. But they decided to sort of sword clash and technique flashback. Sword clash techniques for flash that I have no idea what's going on in the fight. His story is cool though. I don't know what's going on for the plot itself though.
Do you know what it felt like?
Yeah.
It felt very DC.
Mm.
It.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. You have a big fight, big showdown, just because the fight needs to happen. And in the next scene, we're going to have some really important dialogue for you to
Mm.
understand the narrative, and then just throw you into it. It makes the fights lose all value.
Mm.
The fights need to have high stakes. If the
Yeah.
fights are broken up and the intensity is lost, you're like, what's happening right
Mm.
now? I get it. We're supposed to feel sorry for Akaza. because his backstory was pretty tragic.
Mm.
But in a big movie, you don't want things, you know, it's such an odd thing to say that something of such ridiculously slow pace felt rushed.
Yeah, it is strange.
It's so weird to say that
Mm.
because in a TV show, with anime in general, take the Entertainment District arc, for example. You had the beginning and the end. You had the fight, the final fight in one episode. And
Mm.
then we waited for a week with a good feeling of just like, that was so cool.
Mm.
And then in the next episode, that's when we got our backstory and just like, okay, this is the bittersweet ending.
Yeah.
We got two different types of finales here, which is why I think Series 2 was masterfully done. But the movie just didn't get it. It was just Demon Slayer itself has become it's become a stereotype.
I think so. I think it all sort of mimics sort of. I think it mimics what the West wants to be, sort of thing, which is kind of which is kind of interesting because Demon Slayer almost kind of became inherited by the West. I think that's what sort of span it around slightly.
Whoa, what happened? Why did the conversation stop mid-flow? What the deuce?
What's going on?
Why are we here? Well, that was because this conversation continues into the next episode, into episode 41. We have a lot more to say on the same topic still. So, we've ended it now. But if you want to find out more about this conversation in a different perspective, we talk about different things next week. Tune into the same style and the same theme then. But other than that, that's the end of episode 40. We will see you the same time next week for episode 41 on YouTube and Spotify. And until then, look after yourselves, take care, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you soon. Have a good week.
Take care, guys. Hey, guys! Goodbye. Yeah.